And this is coming from a healthcare worker. When I say that y'all better tighten the fuck up, it's nasty as fuck out here. Lab results used to take maybe about 2 business days. The shit is so backed up because of the STD rates right now. It's sad. It takes 4 to 5 days, maybe longer, to get a fucking result back. Don't spoil a good time and be left with something long term. Tighten the fuck.
1 in 8 people living with HIV in the United States don't know they have it. That is 120,000 people living, working, dating that are totally unaware. They feel fine. They don't look sick, but they're still infectious. People who don't know that they're HIV positive are responsible for nearly 40% of the new HIV transmissions. Dude, that's over half. Or that's almost half of the new cases from someone who didn't know that they had it.
Yo, what up, YouTube? Welcome to Sinn-Take, man. My name is Sin, coming back with another one. And as y'all can see, we coming live from the Rose Garden, man. Take a look at it, man. We got another beautiful day out here, so y'all already know I had to thank the Most High for waking me up this morning and giving me another opportunity to be great. Thank you so much, Abba Yahuwah, for your grace and your mercy. Thank you for giving us another chance to get it right. You know what I mean? And stay in this light, you know? Yeah. But man, I just wanted to come out here, holler at y'all, get some fresh air. You know, feel good out here, man. And, you know, I wanted y'all to see that clip, you know, from Rolly. Shout out to Rolly, dropping them gems on TikTok. You know, dropping them quick PSAs, you know, that we need to hear. You know, just letting us know, you know, and excuse the language that she used, but sometimes, listen, you know, you might have to speak harshly in order for people to get the message, you know. And what I want y'all to understand, that this is Yah's judgment on Babylon. You know, that's why you see the STD rates just exploding everywhere, the HIV rates exploding everywhere, bruh. You know, because people, you know, want to keep on fornicating. You know, they want to keep on, you know, sinning. They want to, you know, stay in that world. You know, don't nobody want to hearken to the Most High. You know, don't nobody want to hearken to the truth, and His word is the truth. You know, so guess what, bro? You know, just like Hosea 4:6 say, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You know, and when you ain't in this word, you know, when you're not listening to the Most High, when you're not listening to the Ruach, the Holy Spirit, then guess what, bro? You lacking knowledge out here. So therefore, you're going to be playing on that broad path. You're going to be thinking it's okay to sin. And guess what? When you do that, you ain't going to win. And you're going to end up, you know, with one of these things out here that you can't get rid of. And there's so many people, so many young people, so many older people that's out here suffering because of that. But you know, it's like we talked about yesterday, bruh. You know, where scripture say, come up out of Babylon. You know, and if you don't, what will you do? You will take on her plagues. And that's what a lot of people doing, bro. They taking on the plagues of this world, the plagues of Babylon, the plagues of the enemy, which is Satan. You know, so guess what? When you keep on indulging in this world, he right there waiting. You know, that's why we got to tighten up on this journey too, bro, because you think about it, right? Like when you just steady relapsing and steady indulging in these things, it's like you getting pulled out to deeper and darker water. You know, and what you got to understand, when you that deep in sin, you know, the Most High can't help you. You know what I'm saying? You know, you out there in them deep waters. Now you on that broad path. You playing in Satan's world. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to say his name. You playing in the enemy's world. And when you out there in that deep water, it's easy for you to drown. It's easy for you to be attacked. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, bro, when you are driven by lust, and that's what you seeking, you know, that's what you after, then guess what, bro? That's when Satan will send his seeds at you. You know, in the form of Facebook friends, in the form of Instagram DMs, in the form of succubus women, in the form of past, you know, situationships that you was in. Yeah. You know, it's like somebody slipping you a hot pack. You know, for any of y'all that's familiar with the streets and drugs and stuff like that, like, listen, when somebody knew that you had a vice, you know, like heroin or something like that, and they wanted to get rid of you, they will slip you a hot pack. You know, something that if you do it, it's going to take you out. You know, and when you steady indulging in this world and, you know, you lusting like that and you going out into them deep waters, that's exactly what the adversary do. He slip you a hot pack. And, you know, she going to come across as beautiful, fun-loving. You know what I'm saying? Going to seem like she like the same things you like. But what you don't know is that she got a package. You know what I'm saying? What you don't know is that she got something on her. You know, that if you contract it, you can't get rid of. You know? And imagine that, because you got a lot of people out here that's cheating on their wives, cheating on their girlfriends, and all of that. Try explaining that. You know what I mean? Try explaining that to your wife or your girl. You know, that you done went out there and messed around and contracted something and you gave it to her. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so crazy, bro. Like, it's just like HIV and stuff like herpes is like normal. People walking around with this stuff like it's normal. And at the same time, you got people that's so demonic, so wicked, that they linking up with people and not even telling them that they got these things. I just watched the video, bro. You know, where this dude, you know, he linked up with this chick that he met on social media, of course, you know, and, you know, they went to his crib, they was chilling or whatnot. Now, he didn't end up hooking up with her, but something happened, and I'm familiar with a situation like this because I ain't gonna lie, just with having these phones and stuff like that, you know, it's easy for you to look things up. So something happened to where the girl went to the bathroom, her purse fell, and some prescription bottles fell out of it, you know. And, you know, he looked at the prescription bottle, seen the name on there, and guess what? While she was in the bathroom, he Googled what that medication was for, and it was for HIV. You know what I'm saying? And he confronted her about it, and he like, yo, like, was you gonna tell me or what? She, you know, just with no conviction or nothing, said, if you want go ask, I want go tell you. You know, and he like, well, what if I had went in, you know, we did it and we went and I went in raw or whatever, and she told him that would have been your choice. If that's what you wanted to do, if that's what you was gonna do, and guess what? That was your choice. That was your decision, like, you know, and she wouldn't have said a thing. Now, I was in a situation like that to where I was just chilling with a chick, you know, and I seen the medication bottle when I went to her bathroom, and I just looked it up to see what it was. Now, it turned out that it was just an antibiotic, but still, though, you know, they give you antibiotics for STDs too. You know, they give women antibiotics for, you know, UTIs and stuff like that. But listen, rather safe than sorry. But, you know, again, I didn't link up with the chick, but, you know, some people will say that's wrong. You shouldn't do stuff like that. But listen, you know, you can't be taking no chances out here like that, bro. And that's back when I was in sin and darkness, you know, and just trying to get it in, lusting. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to bust something, man. But you got to understand, in these times, these days, that'll get you in a lot of trouble, bro. That'll get you in a lot of trouble, man. So you got to understand, just with these explosions of STDs and HIVs and all of that stuff, you know, people walking around handing it to each other, that's the broad path. That's why you don't want to be over there. That's why you don't want to be messing around on that side. Let them pass that around to each other. You know what I'm saying? Get in your word. You know, that's why the Most High told us in 1 Thessalonians 4:3, for this is the will of Yahuwah, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication. See, but people ain't trying to do that. They ain't getting up on that. You know, the Most High wasn't playing. It was, he gives us these words and this truth to help us and to shield us and to guard us, you know, so we not out here, you know, taking on these plagues. But when you don't know and people not listening and people ain't seeking the Most High and his wisdom, then guess what, bruh? That's what happened. You get caught up out there, you know. And in 1 Thessalonians 4:4, it says that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor. So do you think that people that's going to these bars, going to these clubs, people that's on these dating websites, people that's on these social media platforms, you know what I'm saying? People that's out here, do you think that they are possessing a vessel, you know, in sanctification and honor? Do you think that? No. You know, these women giving it to you for the nothing. These dudes out here that's out here lusting, they giving it away for the nothing, just taking all types of chances with their flesh, bro. And it's just crazy, bro. So they not possessing a vessel in sanctification and honor. If anything, they defiling their vessel. And that's why I tell us, bro, in 1 Thessalonians 4:5, he say right after that, not in the lust of concubines, even as the Gentiles which know not Yahuwah. So understand, there's a lot of people that don't know Yahuwah, because if they did, they would carry themselves different. He telling you, the Gentiles, they don't know the Most High. They don't know him. So that's why they out there doing all of these things, bro. But you know better. We know better. That's why he led us to this journey. That's why he led us to his word. That's why he led us to this light. That's why he led us to this truth. You know what I'm saying? So we could take this information and take it with us out there so we know what to do. So we know what to do. So we know how to carry ourselves out here. You know what I'm saying? So understand, bro, like, you know, when we watching corn and constantly relapsing, listen, we not tightening up in that situation like she telling us. If anything, you just floating more and more further out there into the abyss where you more susceptible to be under attack. You know what I'm saying? By these situations, the enemy, he gonna send them your way because he see how weak you are. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got to get back up. No matter how many times we fall, get back on this journey and keep on going, bro. We got to keep on going, man, because you got to understand, bro, these things will mess your whole life up. You know what I mean? Whole life down the drain. People losing everything behind lust. You know what I mean? That's why he tell us in Romans 8:13, if ye live after the flesh, then ye shall die. You shall die, bro. You gonna die chasing after that flesh, chasing after that, you know what I'm saying, these carnal things, chasing after these women, chasing after these succubus. You know what I mean? You gonna die doing that. And porn gonna be the gateway right through there because you want to do the things that you've been watching. You know what I'm saying? You want to do the things that you've been watching. So guess what, bro? You know, when Satan send that, when the enemy send that your way, listen, bruh, you gonna be ready to play. You gonna be ready to go right with her. You know, you gonna get them choosing signals and you gonna take that bait. And listen, bruh, you gonna meet your fate. So that's why we gotta stay strong out here, man. We gotta stay prayed up and we gotta put on the full armor of the Most High so we can stand against the wiles of the devil. Because if you don't, guess what, bro? It's time to get that shovel, bro. You're going to get buried out here. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get buried out here, bro. Listen, you should be trying to get married out here. Because, man, it ain't no joke, all right? But that's my word, man. My name is Sinn, and Sinn-Take. Holla at y'all later, man. Peace.